Hello everyone, and welcome back, and let's continue our wonderful adventure. Alright, well, here we're walking through this, obviously underground part of the library that, well, if, you ask me, hadn't been used in a while. Also, I have to mention, the visuals of this game, while they are good, aren't spectacular. As far as I know, this game was originally released on 360, and then kind of like moved to the PC, and you can tell it though. It's not one of those games where, oh, you can run it in 1080p graphics, everything looks great, and it maxes out your graphics card, you're lagging the whole time you play it, etc. And just everything.
Hello, Jasper here again.
I'll let you listen.
I believe that amazing device is what is known as a flit switch. However, on the subject of amazing things, you will not believe what I have just found in the sanctuary. You should come back as soon as you possibly can.
Oh, should I? Well, I think I'm going to charge a spell for a while. Anyway, it looks like I'm forced to go back to the sanctuary. What I finished saying was, this game does not have the best graphics that I've ever seen. It has good graphics, but for some reason, I feel like they didn't want to go beyond the original graphics they created for the 360. Yeah, your opinion's here nor there, but it's a pretty good game nonetheless. Wow, okay. Well, anyway, let's go back to the sanctuary.
This sanctuary contains an armory, within which there are some truly remarkable weapons, heroic weapons, which your father left for you. This way, please.
Well, at least my father left me something. Anyway, I just figured out I could change my dog's name. I actually never noticed it before, so let's go ahead and rename him. I think a perfect name for this dog would be Hank. It's classic, it's awesome, and it was the name of my first dog. So, his name's Hank. If you really think you should have a different name, go ahead and leave a suggestion in the comments. I will consider it, but it's really hard to pick a better name than Hank. But I'm willing to accept.
Now, admittedly, these weapons don't appear particularly impressive yet. However, according to the book, they actually change as you use them, becoming more deadly and developing fantastic properties. They are living weapons, and the way in which you fight with them determines how they evolve.
The way I fight with them. Alright, well,
According
anyway.
to the book, the hammer can grow larger and heavier with use. Incredible.
And the sword?
Apparently, as you use it, the blade actually becomes longer and sharper. Imagine.
Okay, well, I will imagine. But, personally, I think the sword's kind of a, very cliche move. I think the hammer, much better at crushing skulls.
According to the book, the hammer can grow larger and heavier with use.
Oh. Oh, I can rename my hammer too? Let's go ahead and call it, Mjolnir. If you don't know what that means, I don't really know either, but it sounds great. Let's go ahead and select. This is my new weapon.
That hammer should serve you well for as long as you carry it, and depending on whom you kill and how, it will grow ever more powerful. Well, now that you are properly armed, you should be much better prepared for whatever awaits you beneath Brightwall Academy.
I agree with you, sir, because if fire couldn't save me, a hammer will. Now you see, escape brings us back to the sanctuary, which I was commenting on earlier as being a weird sort of like pause system, and escape. If I press escape once again, it'll bring me back to where I was.
The flit switch. Now, the way you activate these is by hitting them. Your new weapon should serve that purpose ably.
Okay, as you see now, your one and two keys will let you change between your melee weapon and your I guess gauntlet of fire. And this button right here in front of us, floating in midair, is a weapon icon, and if we use our melee weapon on it, it'll swing around magically, hit hitting the receptacle and extending the bridge that will let us cross the, well, abyss. Oh no. Shit just got real, folks. You discharge your flourish, which we already learned earlier, but in case you forgot it while you've been on your crazy adventures with your dog, once again, you hold down the front mouse button. Yeah, that's really great. You hold down the left mouse button, and it charges an attack. Once it turns red, you've got an attack that pretty much at this point in the game crushes your enemies in one blow. As you can see, it takes about 2 hits to kill a skeleton. And charging of attack takes 1, so it's at least twice as powerful. Okay, maybe not, because it only knocked him down, and as you see, our dog finished him off, which although I said the dog was worthless in combat earlier, I guess he's somewhat good. Yeah, it says I'm taking some knocks in combat, but I'm almost convinced at this point in the game you're a god, because nothing seems to hurt me. The screen isn't flashing red. You know, if you ever played Modern Warfare, when you get hurt, it lets you know by turning the screen red. And it looks like the dog wants to tell us where to dig. I'll follow him and follow him some more. I do have to say, if they were actually going for an exploration factor in this game, the dog ruined it. But if they're going for, having a companion that is useful, they hit it exactly. Gold doesn't do much, and if I remember from my last playthrough, there's actually a treasure chest around the corner, which, I guess will prove that the dog, while useful, is useful within sight. Or maybe he can't see through doors. Let's see. No, he doesn't do anything. Basically, once you're within range of something, okay, I guess you can see around corners, but for the most part, your dog is basically your second pair of eyes. He's definitely a benefit, but he's not a necessity, I would say. Although, I would definitely choose having a dog over not having a dog. We got another gem. Great. Like I said, I haven't actually got to the point in the game where I give anyone gifts. I'm assuming my wives, because according to the statistics that me and you have seen so far, I can have multiple children and multiple STDs. So let's just hope that I have enough jewels for every single one of them. Well, I think we have to actually go for a little bit of a walk here. I will interrupt myself if someone starts talking. I see plenty of treasure chests. But I wanted to re-comment on a message I said earlier, right before going this ring, that I did accidentally misquote myself and say that I turned a 100 gig file into a 40 megabyte file. I meant to say 1 gig. I don't know why the decimal got misplaced in my head, but I meant that's about the crush ratio. And so far as what I'm uploading to YouTube, I've actually taken about a 25 gigabyte file and made it into something more reasonable, around the 300 to 500 range. And while it does take me 20 minutes to upload, it's a lot shorter than uploading in RAW would be. Well, also, that big of a file is impossible, but you know what I mean. Once again, I would also like for anyone to tell me if they don't enjoy the quality of these videos. I will try a slightly higher compression ratio to hopefully make everyone happy. If you don't notice, as soon as you step onto the first little no, thank you, dog. You found the treasure. I had no clue it was over here. So far, oh, jewelry. I like how the game just tells you, give it to them when they ask relationship. I could have never figured that on my own. Thank you, game. I will say that my biggest thing about being a YouTube Let's Player or uploader is that it does take forever to upload, and well, those are really extremely hard enemies. Well, it does take a long time to upload. I know that's not YouTube's fault. Once again, thank you, dog, for being the best you can be. I know it's not YouTube's fault that it takes forever to upload, but it is strange that sometimes you upload several videos and other ones compress, or well, not compress, process, as far as YouTube is considered calling it, way faster than ones do. And why it does this, I have no idea. But YouTube's awesome for letting, you know, people do what they want to do. Okay, we've collected our first potion here. And this one is a Summon Creatures potion, which you won't actually see it anytime you're in battle. And I'll actually give you guys an example here in a second. If you notice, as you step on the colorful blocks, as I fight these enemies, it does create another platform for me to walk onto. And I actually, the first time I ever tried this, I, you know, selected the correct platforms to get all the, I assume, all the treasures. So I actually have no idea if this is the correct way to do it, or just, you know, you can do it anyway. Also, we've just got a new dressing item. We can either accept the dressing item or go to the dressing room, and I'll go ahead and go to the dressing room so we can go ahead and put it on. Once again, you have to hold down the button. I'm not sure. I understand it.
These new gloves would look supremely handsome gripping the hilt of a finely polished sword. Which reminds me, where have I left the sword polish?
I do like you. Jasper's. He's a funny guy. Anyway, see, it's things like this.
Reconsider, have you? Very well.
You go up to certain items, and they let you just hit E. For example, when you're first interacting with a person, you just press E, and then to hold hands or to belch on them or whatever, you have to hold down the button, which makes perfect sense for an alignment issue. However, I feel like whenever you just go up to something that doesn't make any difference besides your choice, you know, for example, right-clicking or left-clicking, you know, right-clicking to go to the dressing room or left-clicking to accept the item, why do I need to hold that item down? Like, it makes no difference if I accept it or not, I can still eventually equip it. Anyway, here we are in the dressing room. You press E, and you can click all items, which, it won't equip all the items per se. It will equip all the items that you have, so I will actually just change my gloves, which, in my opinion, don't look any better than what I had before, but since they're new, you know, they look great.
Any other bit?
I have no other business. Alright. Another block, and as you see, there's no enemies here. If you didn't notice already, the enemies are located within these lanterns. I have no idea why, but you know why not. Oh, thank you, dog, once again, for finding my treasure. I think a lot of the reason, that was also, sorry, that was a slow time potion. I've used one or two when I played this game before. These slow time down for a short period of time. I don't feel like it's enough time to really be significant. But, I mean, if they're there and you want to make, you know, a few quick decisions, you know, I think they'd be really useful. Crushing some skulls, literally. And once we do this, we're finished with this little area. Back on being a good talker. I think being a good talker is a big part of a Let's Player's, you know, thing. So, if you guys think I have a good talking voice, if I should slow down, you know, whatnot, like I said, this is a example video. If I want to, you know, I want to put it like that. Or I'm not exactly going for a finished product, or as much as I am going for a idea of what I want to do. And I mean, I could also say I'm talking too much. I feel like I've talked for quite a while, but that's what people want. I like it. If someone's saying something interesting, go for it. Anyway, I'm gonna cut it here, and I'll be back with you guys shortly, hopefully.